A depot injection is an injection of a psychiatric medication that is absorbed slowly over several weeks, sometimes given instead of tablets. You may say, what's so awful about having an injection every fortnight? Why make a fuss about that? I want to tell you from my own experience what it is actually like to have these injections. I was put on regular depot injections 20 years ago, and I remained on them for nearly 10 years. I was given no explanation or choice in the matter. I think the doctors suspected I wasn't taking my tablets. Actually, I was taking them, but they weren't doing very much good. The actual injection itself is very painful. The volume to be injected is large compared with most injections, and is thick and irritant. The injection site is bruised and sore for several days, and after a few months your bum becomes quite uncomfortable. Then there are the side effects. These are quite severe for several days after the injection. There is a sort of mental paralysis and apathy, as if seeing the world through a fog. You also can feel physically unwell, unsteady on your feet, very shaky and nauseated. These effects gradually wear off until the dreaded injection happens again. But I think the worst thing is how degrading the whole process can be. Several times when I was in hospital, I was summoned to the treatment room, told to bend over and pull my skirt up, and the needle was just stuck into me. How I was supposed to keep still, I do not know. On one occasion, I actually fell over. It was the worst when a male nurse did this to me. I felt embarrassed, almost subhuman. After I left hospital, I had to go back to the ward regularly for my injections. Often they didn't even ask me how I was. It was as if I had come to be punished, and then was sent home in disgrace. When I asked to be taken off the injections, I was just threatened with compulsory admission. In fact, at that time, I'd been on the injections so long that no one could have possibly known what I would have been like without them. It was not until I developed serious side effects that I was taken off the injections. I had started shaking so badly I could hardly walk. I couldn't sit still, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't sleep. It was like a continuous sort of fit night and day. I was very frightened, in fact terrified. I was then put on tablets instead, and gradually these side effects subsided. After this, I soon felt better mentally and physically than I had for quite some time. I had more energy, more motivation to try and do things. I could think more easily and clearly. I was not so shaky, and I did not have the regular humiliation of being given the injection. I understand that some people, for a variety of reasons, need to have the injections. But I do think that the whole issue should be discussed openly with that person. And if somebody does end up needing the injections, please realize how unpleasant the whole experience can be. From my personal experience, I know that some staff are much better than others at actually giving the injection. When they take the trouble to lie you down properly, get you to relax, and give you the injection with a good technique, it is much less undignified, distressing and painful. It is well worth any nurse studying the technique of giving these injections. And when someone comes for their injection, take the trouble to ask the person how things are. For many, this could be a vital opportunity for human care and contact. It could transform the experience of having the injection from being dreaded to being actually therapeutic.